after clicking on this video, you're probably pretty frustrated with FFmpeg and the AMF AV1. So I'd like to share some of the problems that I had and ways to get around them. So these, obviously, the GitHubs are really good resources for initial, but they don't say the whole story. Because I've spent many hours trying to figure this stuff out. We're going to leave it on this one because we'll come back to that. And the same with the recommended ones. It's good because they've got some examples here. Some work, some don't. But then we'll go into my actual ones that I've narrowed down to 2 that actually work. We'll start with the movie one. So got the standard FFmpeg to do batch files. I have a section here that looks for the audio track specifically. But obviously AV1 used transcoding, quality set to high quality, because that actually works in the AV1. So you can use regular bit rate. Well, I guess I should say constant bit rate and VBR, but I prefer to use qvbr, quality based variable bit rate, and I have it set to 24 for movies. It's not as noticeable, the compression, really, and I'll explain why a little bit later on here. And I just have this so that it doesn't clamp, so it can swing up and down like quite a bit. Actually, even though you have it set at 24, if you say get something that's pretty low quality like 480p, it will actually drop itself almost to 124 kilobytes a second if it needs to. And then pixel format is standard 8-bit, just to make sure that anything I'm encoding is specifically 8-bit, because almost all 1080p is. And then I have preanalysis. Now this is where the headache started, because yeah, you got some in here like quality blah blah blah, we already did that. Come down to preanalysis. So a lot of these kind of work, kind of don't. So yeah. Now, if you try to, say, use ChatGPT to write you a code for all this, it doesn't seem to know that about the booleans or the integers. It just seems to ignore everything and do its own thing. But so we'll come back here. So my pre-analysis right now is the activity type, which is YUV. And YUV, it's hard to describe, but it's basically the way it looks at the image that it's processing. Something chroma, I don't remember what it is because I'm not a professional in video. And then I have obviously the high motion quality boost set to auto. That's really good because sometimes motion can get weird artifacts around it. And the temporal adaptive quantization, I have it on 2. Which do they describe? No, they don't. So 2 is hardware based, whereas 1 is shader based. And then we have the perceptual adaptive quantization. I have the strength set to high. I don't notice an encoding speed difference between low and high, so I just leave it on high for the best possible quality. Scene change, obviously for keyframes. Static scene detection, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. AMF has a maximum of 3 B-frames, and I have my group of pictures set to 10 seconds. And I also have the adaptive group of pictures, which allows the pre-analysis to choose when to put B-frames in and how many. So that's for that one. It's pretty standard. And then the TV one, I just have the it's set to 20 because with all the pre-analysis going on, it seems to do a very, very good job at hiding compression. And I have a thing right here. I have to open it with VLC because the Windows one freaks out with AV1. Like there's some artifacting like around the mouth you can see, but it's not too bad for being such low bit rate. And then the same with the Simpsons here. There's some, but like it's super crisp. Like this, beautiful. But there's that. So I don't know if you see, but this one got down to 75 megs from 239, and then Simpsons was 1 gig down to 222 with very minimal quality loss. So it's very good for if you want a Plex server and whatnot. Now here's where things really take a turn. Is when you're trying to do 10-bit. It does support 10-bit, but it's basically useless in my opinion. It's absolutely useless unless you lock the bit rate like what I did here. It doesn't do anything. QV bit rate, it will literally go to 61 megs per second immediately. And obviously that's useless because your file size will be almost 100 gigs. And then the pixel format 10-bit, color space obviously, and then this is for the metadata to transfer over. And the AQ mode, you can use the quantum. I don't think it's quantum, I think it's consistent adaptive quantization, high motion quality boost, and pre-encode actually works on this one, and B-frames do work. Now the other issue with using regular just 8-bit is you'll notice that I'm not using all of the pre-analysis. So there's tons of pre-analysis stuff here, which I think is great for the future, using the whole feature set. So obviously I have that, the type, the detection. You don't really need this. It's basically default. This one only really sets up the SAD algorithm for high motion, but texture, if you enable that, will look like you'll start getting artifacting and really high detail stuff. LTR does not work when you have B-frames on. And this is the one that I really wish that I could use in with the like in 8-bit and whatnot. Or sorry, AV1, because I find that you can't even use it in 8-bit, but for some reason it crashes the driver. If you even try to use this, it just crashes the driver. And the same with there was another one, LTR. If you even put it on with B-frames, it will crash the driver again. Now another thing too is if you don't put this in, sometimes you'll get another driver crash or it'll just hang up. If you just have BF 3 and then dash B depth 3, you'll just get a driver crash. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the issues that I had, and I was showing you how it all seems to work out much better now that I have all this set up the way it is. So I hope you guys found this video informative, and thanks for watching.